That's not legal. That's not legal. You can't just open my door.
Yeah, I can.
No, you
can't. Get out of this car right now.
You can't just open my door.
I be trying to keep the peace, but I'm really tired of getting harassed. And when I get harassed privately and I ignore, that's when I start getting harassed publicly.
I ain't listen after you and your mama robbed me. Yeah, you and your mom robbed me cold. Wipe my nose.
Offset getting arrested and accused of sending goons after Cardi B hits different when the woman herself is on Spaces, saying she genuinely fears he might end her life. And the wild part? She's saying this while tagging the NYPD and FBI because the threats, the stalking, and the obsession didn't stop after the divorce filing. They got worse before anything else. Look at the exact moment this mess turned from celebrity breakup into what Cardi calls a real safety issue. Cardi tweeted, "Y'all be thinking it's so funny and it's not. It's been over a year and I'm still being harassed and threatened to the point that I feel like my life in danger. This is where I had to stop and ask myself, how far did this man actually go?" Because right after that tweet, she doubled down, saying Offset has been threatening her, stalking her every day, and even sending their old tapes to Stefan Diggs just to break them up. And that's not even the darkest piece. Not even close. Now here's the part that had people online saying Offset snapped past jealousy and straight into criminal intent. Cardi says Offset told people he still had access to her during the period she conceived Stefan's baby, basically making it sound like, under Georgia law, the child could be legally considered his, even though Cardi says the man hasn't even seen their own kids properly in months. Offset later on posted, "My kid, LOL," and later denied, but after fans dragged him, his whole team sprinted to TMZ, claiming the post was completely fabricated. Funny how it's always fake when the backlash hits. And that's when the convo around Offset shifted from messy ex to this man might be trying to set her up for something way deeper. Because once Cardi said she wonders if she'll end up in a crime documentary, fans started putting together every disturbing piece from the past year. The threats, the obsessive calling, the stalking, the tapes, the money issues, and suddenly the idea of Offset sending people to check. Cardi didn't sound like a reach anymore, but before we even get to the goons part, there's something else that really made people panic. As you guys probably know, Cardi didn't just wake up one morning and decide to call this man dangerous. She's been dropping pieces for months, pieces that didn't make sense until now.
And you know what? I already know why I already know I didn't want her to do this because this is what I'm want.
And one of the clearest ones came when fans noticed Offset literally would not stop calling her for an hour while she was live. Not because of kids, not because of an emergency, just calling and calling like someone who refuses to lose control. And when you line that up with Cardi saying he ruined her Valentine's Day, stalked her every day, sent their old videos to Diggs, and even tried to weaponize Georgia's paternity law to claim her new baby.
Every single time that I find like peace, first of all, the way this man fucking ruined my Valentine's Day.
It's not messy anymore, it's obsessive. But let me tell you what really tipped everything into this ain't normal territory for me. Offset went online after all this and claimed he's being oppressed for being a black man. He said this while Cardi was on Spaces, describing how she's scared to sleep.
Like, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Sometimes I sleep and I wonder, like, yo, this is not normal.
And the internet wasn't having it. Because how are you oppressed when Cardi is literally saying her estranged husband is threatening her, harassing her, and refusing to sign divorce papers? Meanwhile, he's facing over $2.3 million in tax liens. So yeah, the timing looks insane. A man drowning financially, a divorce that cuts off his biggest access to money, a woman who found someone new, a legal system where proving access lets you demand a paternity test on a child that isn't yours. And then Cardi comes out saying he's been threatening to hurt her. You don't need a detective to read between those lines. Now this is where the situation stops being just Cardi versus Offset, because somebody who's known him for years stepped in and blew the whole thing wide open. Tia Kemp, the same Tia who's been around the industry long enough to know who's sneaky, who's violent, and who's just messy, hopped online and told Offset to leave Cardi and Stefan Diggs alone, and instead focus on the women he was cheating with.
Yeah, Offset stopped claiming Cardi's new baby. I know the fuck he ain't. I know he's not. He need to go move around and worry about all of the girls that he done cheated on with.
And look, People don't call in goons by accident. They don't sneak around old girlfriends and random women if they're innocent either. So when Tia said that, fans instantly felt like she was confirming something Cardi's been hinting at for months, that Offset might have been moving around behind the scenes in a way that wasn't just harassment, but intimidation. And right after Tia's post went viral, Offset did something that made everybody go, yeah, this man is spiraling. He deleted his entire Instagram and Twitter gone. No warning, no explanation. That's what people do when the mask slips and they can't control the narrative anymore. But what really made fans side-eye him was that disappearing act came right after he was accused of stalking, threatening Cardi, sending tapes to digs, spreading lies through bloggers, refusing to sign divorce papers, and trying to twist Georgia law to claim Cardi's new baby. You don't nuke your accounts unless you're hiding from what you just did. And as if that wasn't chaotic enough, Offset's team jumps out with a statement denying every single thing, including the My Kid LOL post that everyone clearly saw. But the internet dragged that statement immediately because we saw the posts, we saw the timing, we saw the obsession. Fans weren't buying it for 1 second. One pointed out what most were thinking. Offset is a narcissistic liar. We all saw him and his loser brother post in real time. They're obviously trying to spin things in his favor because he looks crazy harassing Cardi B when she's minding hers. And the more his team denied, the more Cardi kept dropping receipts, and each one was worse than the last. Because when she went on Spaces again, she didn't talk like a woman frustrated with her ex. She talked like a woman who's genuinely scared of someone who refuses to let go. And that's when she dropped the line that sent literally every fan into panic mode. Sometimes I sleep and I wonder, this is not normal. That's not a bar for attention. That's a survival sentence. But the darkest detail wasn't even public yet. The thing Cardi revealed next is what made the internet use words like setup and goons without hesitation. And once she said it, the entire Offset narrative collapsed. So here's where everything finally tilts from toxic breakup into something that looks and feels like a premeditated setup, because what Cardi revealed had people genuinely scared for her life, not her reputation. During one of her Spaces rants, the one where her voice was cracking and she kept stopping mid-sentence, Cardi said Offset wasn't just stalking her or calling nonstop. He was allegedly threatening to off her. Not hurt, not pull up, not fight, off. As in, permanently remove her. And the way she said it didn't sound like an exaggeration. It sounded like a woman explaining something she's been carrying alone for way too long. Cardi said Offset was doing things that made her fear for her life. And then a fan reminded everyone of his past behavior, where he allegedly told another woman to abort her baby or else. And it was documented. The fan tweeted, "Do you not remember when he had threatened old girl to abort his child or else? Or when she was on live and he wouldn't stop calling her phone repeatedly for about an hour? That is not normal behavior." Yes, she's being harassed. It's literally been shown on paper. So when Cardi said Offset
are still married on paper.
Because if Offset could force his way into that baby's legal situation, the financial leverage shifts. Suddenly, he's tied into Cardi's money, her assets, and her parental responsibilities. What if he's not just harassing her? What if he's trying to force a legal tie to her money? And when you put all that together, the threats, the stalking, the tapes, the blogger campaigns, the financial collapse, the obsession with Stefan Diggs, the deactivated accounts, the pattern looks exactly like what Cardi feared. A man trying to box her in until she breaks or disappears. That's why fans said the quiet part out loud. If something happens to Cardi, we know exactly who did it. Because obsession plus desperation plus control, that's the formula we see in every crime documentary she referenced, and she knows it. That's why she low-key hinted that she wonders if she'll end up as another headline. That's why she left. Not for clout, not for press, but for survival. And the saddest part? Cardi said she had no choice but to leave him or end up in jail for hurting him.
If I was still there, I was gonna end up going to jail. Because I was gonna end up killing them. Seriously, with my own bare hands.